Hey everyone, my name is Ryan. Thank you guys for clicking on this video. Today I'm going to be talking about a thriller Blumhouse film called Drop. If you're new to the channel, definitely hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, and comment below your thoughts on Drop. Now this film, it was directed by Christopher Landon, and he's done films like the Happy Death Day films, Paranormal Activity, The Marked Ones, and Freaky. The film stars Meghann Fahy and Sklenar, and it's about a widowed mother who goes out on a date for the first time in a very long time. When she goes on this date, she has somebody stalking her and going into her text messages and giving her like airdrops and just trying to give her different instructions and basically just blackmailing her. Now, I've seen the trailer for this film so many times that I'm so glad now that this film is actually out. I don't have to see the trailer anymore. I think part of the reason for me seeing the trailer so much kind of really affected my viewing of this film because there's so much they really throw into the trailer. The movie is 90 minutes, so I think like a lot of things that happened in the trailer, I kind of expected in the film, which kind of took away a little bit my enjoyment from this film. Blumhouse has struggled this year and really just had a rough time really putting out a good film. Between Wolfman, The Woman in the Yard, and then now Drop, they've just really struggled throughout this entirety of this year. I'll start off by saying the positives, that I like the fact here of going on this date and having someone actually stalk this woman and blackmail her. That was a very interesting premise. The film goes right into the start of this film pretty rapid fire. Pretty much we meet this character, we see what her job is, and then we see that she has a babysitter and she has a 5-year-old. Before that, we get a little bit of a flashback of something which is a little bit awkward how they start the film, but once we get past that little flashback as to what was going on in her life, then we get into the babysitting part, and then she's pretty much right out the door and going on this date. And that's probably within like the first 10 minutes of the film. And then we pretty much spend the entirety of this film at this restaurant for the 90-minute runtime. Now, from a positive standpoint, I will say that I think some of the visuals of this film are done really well. Some of the camera work is done really well. I think some of the comedy that they're trying to throw in here, this director, like I said, he's done Freaky and he's also done the Happy Death Day films. So I think like a lot of his films, he relies on humor and tries to blend in horror as well. To me, this isn't really horror. It's more the thriller route, but kind of like a light thriller with like maybe like a little bit of drama here and there. Not really funny, but trying to go that route at the same time. I also like when she actually gets a text message, we see the words on screen, but I think also with those text messages, they could have like stopped the dinging, because like we hear the ding throughout like the entirety of this film, and I don't think that was really necessary. I think like if you just took that out, just had the words on the screen, that was good enough, because like just the way they put those words on the screen, the designs of those actual words are fine, and I thought that just worked. There's another scene too where she goes into the bathroom and we see like all the security cameras like on the bathroom stall. She's sitting down in this bathroom. I thought that was really unique as well. I think throughout this film, it's one of those films where you have to suspend your disbelief. Like last year I watched a film called Trap, and that one was really hard for me to really do. And in this film, I kind of felt the same way. Mainly one, because her date that she's on, this date with here, he's very understanding, a little bit too understanding. I just don't really think a man would be that understanding for kind of like everything that's really going on in this restaurant. There is certain things that they throw in this film, like there's a few red herrings that they kind of throw in to try to throw off the audience. There was one particular character that we do meet, and I was like, yeah, I think it's going to be this character, and they're going to do this. There were things in this film I felt that were me questioning certain things that were kind of going on, like, well, how did that character do that, or how did they get to that point, in which you're just kind of like, yeah, like it's a little bit, throws you off a little bit in the film. And I think like for me, again, that goes back to seeing a film like Trap last year and kind of suspending your disbelief. You have to do a lot of that in this film, and for me, I think that's why this film just didn't really work for me. There's definitely some cheesy dialogue. He's done films like Happy Death Day and Freaky, and to me, I think he should really stick to those kind of films if he's going to kind of do that kind of dialogue. For me, I don't think it really worked in this film. I think it really hurt the film because, again, I didn't really feel this as a full-fledged comedy film, and I don't really think comedy was necessarily needed in a film like this. some of the tension in this film, I think some of it works, and then I think at other times it kind of is in the back burner, and you're thinking about certain things that they've introduced on screen. You're like, okay, now this is something that should feel very tense, but I don't really feel that way for that character and what they're actually going through. There's also a character too that's a waiter that's trying to be very comedic. It's apparently his first day on the job, but they're kind of making him kind of quirky, and it kind of throws off like the tone of the film for me. I just was kind of unfocused by some of that humor that the director was trying to throw in. There was a character that was at the bar that I really did like, in which she was very concerned with this female and how her date was really going. I like that they had her character in the film because that showed some caring individual within, helping this woman and just really trying to understand her predicament. I actually like that. This movie is a mystery to a degree, and it's very simple as to what is really actually going on within the characters that are really being represented in this film and the certain person that is involved in this as well. It's a very simple plot that when it's revealed, you're like, okay, that really does make sense. But I think that reveal, I don't think it was underwhelming, but I think like the said person that was involved, so to speak, I kind of guessed it was that person. Just a very inkling of mine that I just kind of guessed that it was that person. This film is going to be divisive. Actually, after this film actually ended, I was listening to some of the people that were talking in the back, and they said that, it started off kind of slow and then it kind of came together. I feel like there is going to be a variety of opinions based on how this film is structured, because it's not necessarily like a boring film by any means, but it does take a little bit to get to where it's actually going in its full reveal. And for some, maybe they will enjoy the mystery, some may figure it out, and I think some just may not care at all. As I said, like the tones are kind of a little bit mixed mesh for me, and I think because of that, and then also the fact I've seen this trailer so many times, and then I think like the lack of tension for me personally, it just didn't really work. And then overall for me, it's just kind of a meh film when it really comes down to it. Not a horrible Blumhouse film, but just nothing that I would revisit. And I would say, like, if you want to watch this is like the perfect movie to watch at home. I don't think it's anything to rush to the theater to go check out. But if you're just really wanting to see this film and just itching to see it in the theater, I completely understand that. But I just don't really think it's really worth the price of admission to really check out at the theater. For me, it's going on the mail list, which there's been a lot of okay films this year. And for me, the score of this film is going to be a 2 out of 5. It just didn't really fully work with its execution and its tone. And its characters were all right, but again, there's a lot of suspending your disbelief, and then certain things that are kind of going on where you're just questioning certain things and how certain things happen. That kind of bothered me about the film. But I think like the reveal itself, it worked in a way, but again, I think like certain tension points just weren't really there for me, and I think it just missed the mark overall for me. But what did you guys think about Drop? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you just think it was kind of meh? Leave any and all comments down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.